Klein Goldcrest's team, Yang announced, with Feng Zhao and Astor Blackwood.
The Gold Crest heir stepped forward with the natural arrogance of nobility, his golden lion manifesting in brilliant patterns across his skin. The light caught the metallic sheen of his beast's markings, creating an almost ethereal glow. Feng, whose red cobra created scarlet scales along his neck, and Astor, with his rhinoceros's bluish markings, flanked him with similarly aristocratic bearing. "We won't need heavy weapons," Klein declared while selecting a light short sword, the blade catching the morning light. "Our beasts are more than sufficient." Feng chose a pair of daggers, their edges glinting dangerously, while Astor opted to take no weapon at all. His rhinoceros markings intensified, covering his arms with a bluish glow that promised raw power. Unlike previous groups, these three had trained together since childhood. Their beasts, all with high potential, complemented their styles naturally. The lion's overwhelming presence, the cobra's precision, and the rhinoceros's raw strength forming a deadly combination. The assistants released another Stone Lurker. The creature barely had time to camouflage before the team moved into action. "Delta formation," Klein ordered without raising his voice. His companions positioned themselves instantly, Astor taking the front while Feng and Klein covered the flanks. Their movements spoke of countless hours of practice. Feng's cobra allowed him to detect the creature's body heat, and through it, the thinner areas of its armor. His scarlet scales shimmered as he focused his beast's sensory abilities. 30 centimeters down, slightly left of the eye crack, Feng reported, his scales glowing brighter with certainty. Astor advanced heavily, his rhinoceros manifesting in a controlled charge. The Stone Lurker attempted to jump at him, identifying him as an apparently smaller and weaker target than itself, a grave mistake. Klein's golden markings blazed as his lion responded. A roar, amplified by his beast's power, struck the Stone Lurker mid-leap. The sound wave made the stones on its body vibrate violently, creating weak points in its natural armor. Before it could recover, Feng appeared at its side, his daggers shining with a poison skill, finding the points weakened by the vibration with snake-like precision. The Stone Lurker tried to turn, but Astor was already there. His rhinoceros manifested a charge that, though contained, struck the creature with brutal power. "Finish it," Klein ordered, his voice blending with a growl that carried his lion's authority. All three attacked simultaneously, Feng's poison daggers finding vital points near the eyes, Astor's charge holding the creature in position, and Klein's final roar shattering what remained of its mineral armor before ending it with his sword. The Stone Lurker collapsed without even having time to screech. "Impressive coordination," Yang commented as assistants removed the body, "though perhaps a bit excessive in mana use for a juvenile." "Excess is better than incompetence," Klein replied while sheathing his barely used sword. His lion's markings glowed with satisfaction. "Besides, we can use our skills 5 times without breaking a sweat." "An interesting demonstration of those powerful beasts' natural abilities," Lin added. "Though in a real situation, depending solely on their mana could be risky." Klein simply smiled, the gold in his skin shimmering. His companions maintained equally satisfied expressions as they returned to their positions, their superiority evident in every movement. Efficient, Ren thought, but arrogant. They're so used to their beasts solving everything, they barely used their weapons. The mushrooms in his hair pulsed while analyzing the combat. It had been a crushing victory, yes, but also a demonstration of, perhaps, excessive dependence on their beasts and mana. "Next team!" Yang called out. "Ren, Taro, and Min," he announced. The laughter began before he finished naming them. Jean and his group were particularly loud, their mockery echoing across the training ground. "The rotting fungus and his friends!" someone shouted from behind. "This'll be fun!" Ren ignored the taunts as they descended to choose their weapons. The mushrooms in his hair pulsed as he approached the equipment. His eyes immediately fixed on the coiled ropes among the more traditional weapons. "Take that one," he whispered to his companions, selecting just one long, sturdy rope. He approached each one and whispered something in their ear. Taro and Min exchanged surprised looks, but nodded, trusting their friend's unconventional strategy. For himself, Ren chose a short spear. "Look!" Jean's mocking voice rose above the crowd. "The coward wants to stay far from the monster, though he can't even carry a normal long spear." The laughter increased. Even students who normally remained neutral smiled at the sight of the weak muzzle boy unable to wield a longer standard spear. "Are you sure about your choices?" Lin asked, her expression neutral but her eyes studying them with interest. Ren nodded, the mushrooms in his hair pulsing calmly. Knowledge flowed through his mind, revealing the Stone Lurker's peculiar anatomy, how their organs concentrated in a compact sphere, with the brain aligned vertically above their posterior end. The assistants released another Stone Lurker. The creature immediately camouflaged itself, its suction cups gripping the ground while studying its opponents with predatory patience. "Begin!" The team's movement took everyone by surprise. Instead of the cautious approach they thought would be employed, Taro and Min ran forward, each holding one end of the extended rope. Ren followed closely in the center, just behind the rope, his short spear ready. The Stone Lurker detected the movement and prepared to jump. Its sensors identified Ren as the closest target and smaller than itself. Its suction cups detached from the ground, its enormous mouth beginning to open. But it was too late. The rope caught it across the forehead mid-leap. Taro and Min pulled in unison, using the monster's own momentum to roll it backward. The stones on its body scraped against the ground as its belly was exposed, but it was a belly also completely covered in stone. What could the spear do there?
Wait, that's not the end. You've just had a free taste. Now get the full story on the Pocket FM app, link in description. Check out our next video and playlist, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.